what numbers really matter when it comes to a partition.
Hi guys. This is pretty much been Jonathan David.
Anytime a partition action occurs, what should happen and what you should request in the petition, and again, a partition is where multiple people own a property. Let's use an example of just two people to keep it simple. They own it as joint tenants, whether it's with rights of survivorship, whether it's not. That matters for purposes of heirs property, not so much for just partition action. But what numbers really matter when it comes to partition? What's supposed to happen is what's called an equitable accounting. Equitable accounting is in which you actually say, okay, there's a presumption that the title controls. So if it's just two people, to keep it simple, one person owns it 50%, the other person owns it 50%, boom, everything. That means, surely they share expenses at 50%, right? Well, an equitable accounting says, well, hey, yeah, the title may show that they own it 50%, but this one person's really been paying for everything. The mortgage, the taxes, the utilities, everything. They put more money down to buy the place. So an equitable accounting says, okay, this one person should get more of the proceeds if we're going to force this place to be sold in a partition action. What are the numbers that matter? I kind of just touched on most of the numbers that matter. So it's really comes down to mortgage and debt contributions if there's a mortgage. So monthly mortgage payments, principal versus interest, lump sum principal reductions, home equity loans, HELOC payments, refinancing costs paid by one party. And again, you make an argument. There is some case law and some legal argument to say it's not necessarily just the mortgage payments as a whole, but it's the amount in principal. So anytime you have mortgage payment, you're paying the principal balance a certain amount down, and then you're also making a large interest payment. There's argument to say that just the principal amount that you've paid it down is what matters, but we'll make the argument that you have to pay the entire, you can't just pay half the mortgage, right? You can't just pay whatever portion of the payments going toward principal balance. So we always try to make the argument that the entire mortgage payment should be counted, not just the principal balance. Whether or not the judge is on board with that is case-by-case basis.
For the latest in case updates, legal tips, news, and politics, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and our other socials, and above all, subscribe on YouTube to get your dose of excellence on a daily basis.